On January 14, 2025, we will experience an intense full moon in Cancer at 23 degrees 59, setting the tone for the year ahead. The moon is conjunct malefic Mars, which is retrograde. The moon is in Cancer, its domicile. Cancer themes are primarily tied to family, ensuring nourishment and family security, as well as sensitivity, instinctual and emotional expressions, and impulses related to home or homeland. The moon symbolizes women, mothers, water, liquids, and all those who work with them. In mundane astrology, the moon represents the population. Lunar individuals are generally impressionable, changeable depending on their environment, yet traditional, stubborn, child-loving, cautious and sometimes even mediums. Cancer also embodies the memory of the past. During certain transits, such as now with Mars retrograde in this sign, Cancer recalls much from the past or finds itself in similar circumstances and longs to return there. The moon and Cancer govern the stomach, digestion, gallbladder, uterus, breasts, pregnancy and eyes. Mars, the god of war, loves weapons and extreme sports. He is brave, impulsive, aggressive, ruthless, and passionate. In the body, Mars governs the head, nose, bladder, high fever infections, surgeries, bleeding, burns, and severe pain. Mars in Cancer is in its fall, which is a bad position. Mars will remain retrograde until February 23, 2025, when it resumes direct motion toward Leo. The incompatibility between the moon and Mars is evident. We see all over aggressive manifestations, unrest, and vocal demands for people's rights. Patriotism is loudly claimed, but it is often questionable. We may encounter stress, psychological discomfort, and physical ailments described above until Mars returns to direct motion and enters Leo, April 18. We should guard against colds, flus, cuts, burns and surgeries. Cancer is home, and Mars, right next to the moon, stirs family matters. Disputes arise, damages occur, fires or floods are triggered. At the country level, it causes terrible events, even disasters, especially during retrogradation in unfavorable signs, e.g., floods in Spain with Mars in Cancer, catastrophic fires in California with Mars leaving Leo, a fire sign. All this worsens global economic issues. Moreover, the moon and Mars are out of bounds, out of the ecliptic. An out of bounds retrograde Mars is completely unruly. The moon is almost always out of bounds. Mars in Cancer forms a trine with Neptune. It inspires some to revive a glorious or dark past. See Trump's statements about Greenland, Canada, the Panama Canal, the Gulf of Mexico renamed the American Gulf. In Romania or Georgia, some hope for a return to Russian-style communism, to actually preserve privileges, using aggressive, covert forces. The astrograph for Mars indicates areas of influence: North America, Mexico, the Caribbean, Eastern South America, the Middle East, Ukraine, Romania, Finland, the Baltic Sea, Egypt, Sudan, Japan, Taiwan and Indochina, essentially, where conflicts are already active or brewing. In the opposite sign of Cancer lies the Sun in Capricorn, an ambitious zodiac sign, strives for heights. The Sun represents authority, dignity, power, luxury, ostentation, and is a symbol of leaders, heads of state, and kings, ruling Leo. The Sun opposes Mars in Cancer. Tension ignites between these two fiery planets. Globally, we see significant power struggles at presidential levels, marked by aggression and passion. Firearms and explosions color today's world. It seems global leadership is weak, disconnected from the hearts of the people, and lost in empty power struggles. Decision-making is heavily disrupted by friction among so-called leaders, parties, or factions, everywhere. Even when an agreement is reached, it satisfies no one, leaving the population disheartened, exhausted by so many fruitless battles. Retrograde Uranus in Taurus makes favorable aspects with the Sun and Moon, but Uranus is unpredictable. Thus, we anticipate surprises, especially since it's in its fall. We might hear about new technologies, new currencies, or governance forms. Venus is in Pisces, conjunct Saturn and sextile Mercury, Capricorn, attempting logical communication or partnerships, but agreements in Pisces are unreliable. It's hard to distinguish between dream, reality, lie, or truth. Reaching a clear conclusion quickly is unlikely, as the Venus-Saturn conjunction squares retrograde Jupiter in Gemini, also a dual sign. Romantic relationships are not favored. We may feel lonely and sad. Finally, let us remember that lunations are very important. They trigger events that bring the conclusions of the previous projects initiated at the new moon. Mars is part of this lunation. We need to take things slowly and think before acting, avoiding the trap of retrograde Mars. Self-control is essential, as the consequences could otherwise be dramatic for family, home, and oneself, body and soul.